Welcome to the Virtual Strategic Solutions Virtual Reality Simulation System. Accessing Legacy Dataset. Files loaded, simulation ready. Construction of Vault 13 started in August 2063 and was completed in March 2069, which was the last vault on the west coast to be completed, covering 3,200,000 tons of soil at 200 feet. The starting budget for Vault 13 was $400 billion, although it eventually totaled to $645 billion. It was planned to operate for a duration of 10 years. The vault supported up to 1,000 occupants in its 100 designated living quarters. At maximum capacity, 10 people would be assigned to a single living quarter, practicing a hot bunking system. Vault-Tec assigned the dwellers the Pip-Boy 2000 and also equipped the vault with a solar scorcher, an experimental photoelectric weapon harnessing sunlight as an energy source. In addition, Vault 13 housed heavy machinery for construction projects, sustainable hydro-agricultural farms, and a water purification system sourced from a subterranean river. Dwellers enjoyed equipment for social gatherings and enough entertainment material to last the projected duration. Communication equipment kept Vault security effective despite their limited armory. Vault 13 was also supplied with an extra Garden of Eden creation kit, which when added to the Vault standard complement of 2 makes 3 kits in total, instead of the extra water chips that made their way to Vault 8. Due to its late completion, the cry wolf effect that hurt the other vaults is not as pronounced in Vault 13. Vault 13 was a control group for the Societal Preservation Program, intended to be sealed until the subjects were needed by the Enclave, according to Dick Richardson. Sometime prior to December 5, 2161, Vault 13's water purification chip began to malfunction. The Overseer began to send out Vault 13 dwellers into the wasteland to find a replacement chip. Among those sent out to search for a replacement chip was Ed and Tallius. The first perished right outside the door. The latter was captured by Nightkin at Necropolis and later dipped, only to mutate into a ghoul-like mutant like Harold. He wound up with the followers of the Apocalypse, far away from the Vault. The final dweller selected by the Overseer for the mission was the future hero simply called Vault Dweller. On December 5th, 2161 at 7:21, they left the Vault with a 10mm pistol, some supplies, and the location of Vault 15. The water chip finally failed at that point, leaving the Vault with just 150 days' worth of water reserves. After braving the dangers of New California, the Dweller finally returned with the chip in February 2162, recovering it from Vault 12 beneath Necropolis, succeeding where Tallius failed. The Overseer was pleased in particular because of the rebel faction rising in the Vault, demanding to leave. Upon reviewing the Vault Dwellers' report, in particular the mutants at Necropolis, he calculated that the mutant population was far too uniform to be the result of random chance, and concluded that there had to be a factory producing them at a startling rate. Determining it was a threat to the Vault, the Overseer once more sent the Dweller into the wasteland as 13's most capable agent. The Vault Dweller succeeded, locating and assassinating the leader of the mutant army, the Master, and destroying his command center, the Cathedral, in March 2162. On April 20th, 2162, the Vault Dweller completed his mission, killing the lieutenant and destroying the Mariposa military base containing the FEV vats used to create the mutants. The Vault Dweller returned to Vault 13 on May 10th, 2162. The Overseer met them outside the Vault blast door and rather than let them back inside as a hero, banished them into the wasteland. He was convinced that the Dweller's presence would convince his fellow Dwellers to seek their fortune in the wasteland and abandon the Vault, endangering the control group. He believed that he was saving the Vault. However, the Vault 13 population was disgusted by the Overseer's decision. A faction under Teresa and Lyle rebelled against him. Many left the Vault in protest. Those who remained believed that those who left perished in the wastes and arrested the Overseer. He was tried and sentenced to death, and the position was abolished. With the death of the Overseer and abolishment of the position after the betrayal that the Vault Dweller suffered, Vault 13 dwellers commissioned the Brotherhood of Steel to acquire and install a mainframe computer, to automatically control and regulate Vault 13. The Vault Dweller and his group journeyed north, into the wilderness of North California and Oregon, where they ultimately founded a small village called Arroyo, protected by an extensive network of badlands and canyons. Rather than try to rebuild a town, they created a new community with a tribal culture. Over the span of 3 generations, or 80 years, Vault 13 turned into a myth, known as Holy 13. In 2241, the grandchild of the Vault Dweller, the Chosen One, was sent to find Vault 13 and retrieve the Gek to save the dying village during a historic drought. Vault 13, however, was seized by the Enclave earlier that year. On May 15th, it sent a coded sequence to Vault 13, activating its central computer with an all-clear signal. Martin Frobisher, spokesman for Vault 13, promptly went through the emergence protocol, playing the Leaving the Vault training video provided by Vault Tech for the gathered dwellers and ensuring other preparations were complete. A day later, on May 16, 2241, the vault was opened, only to be met by 2 Verti assault squads. Enclave troops opened fire, killing 3 Vault Dwellers on the spot and stormed the vault. The Dwellers were rounded up and removed to the oil rig. On May 17, 2241, a pack of intelligent death claws was deployed to the now empty vault by Enclave animal handlers to cover up the operation. The pack did not obey orders. Gruther, the pack leader, organized a proper community in the confines of the vault, using the voice recognition on the mainframe to provide for the pack. A small community of humans eventually emerged, typically refugees rescued from the wasteland or volunteers. Problems started later, in 2241, when a random wastelander stumbled onto the vault and decided the intelligent death claws were the greatest threat to humanity, damaged the mainframe and bombed Kerith, the matriarch. Taken into custody, his actions forced Gruther to order thefts of livestock in the surrounding area, preying on NCR Brahmin herds to help his pack survive.